Shalom. Call halal Yahweh Bashem Awashai Bashem Rakakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. To the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners. And to the Akwaf that are listening and learning, to you I say Shalom. Right now we're catching Esau red-handed, catching him in the act of committing his crimes against the earth, against humanity. You can see that stretched out thing above your head. If you see that straight line, when it spreads out, it's gonna look like that section of pollution that's above it. All right, we go to the left, you're gonna see a real cloud. All right, that which is behind that line is not a cloud. That is what that line looks like when it spreads out. All right, and that's not even what the lesson is about, but a helicopter flew over and was hovering right there, and that's what made me look up in the first place. All right, but this video is going to be a response to a video that was done by Elder Apostle Aram Lab. Not quite. Oh, hold on, let me adjust this camera. About almost an hour ago. Just trying to get this stand, Salakia. So I had it set up, but I lifted it up when that helicopter flew over, so Salakia. And there we go. Because it's on the hill, it's on a slant, so I don't want it to fall over. But yeah, that was a video that the Elder Apostle did almost an hour ago, and it was called The Nerve of You. So this is going to be a response to that. And I just want to, lamb back, off a little bit, off of what the Elder Apostle did. And I'm going to open with the book of Baruch. And this scripture has been coming out a lot lately. I use it a lot because this is a subject matter that's dear and close to me, and that I'm very passionate about teaching, and that's the controversy of Zion. These people that are running around the earth claiming to be us, and they get angry when we bring out the historical facts that prove that we are indeed the Israelites and they are not. All right, they don't like it at all. All right, but this is Baruch 2:30, and it reads, "For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivities they shall remember themselves, and shall know that I am Yahweh their power, for I will give them an heart and ears to hear. And they shall praise me in the land of their captivity, and think upon my name." And he was talking about the name and how they're saying that we don't have the proper name, all right, when all the evidence points to the fact that we do. All right. And it's easy to debunk what they speak. All you have to do is look up the history of Eleazar ben Yehudi in the 1800s, who added the E, V, the O, and the U to Hebrew. Because if you go to Psalms, the book of Psalms actually has all the Hebrew letters in it. All right, and I forget exactly what chapter where it starts, but it's definitely in there. And it's only 22 Hebrew characters, but when you add in the E, the V, the O, and the U, all of a sudden it has 26. It has vowel points. So he even tell you that he found he found problems within the language that he decided to correct. So the language of heaven, this man decides that he's going to fix it, and that's what they're running with today. That's facts. That's not theory. That's facts. All right, and it says, "And they shall praise me in the land of their captivity, and think upon my name, and return from their stiff neck and from their wicked deeds, for they shall remember the way of their fathers which sinned before Yahweh, and I will bring them again into the land which I promised with an oath unto their fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and they shall be lords of it, and I will increase them, and they shall not be diminished. That portion hasn't happened yet. But what is happening is the returning from the stiff neck, and the name that we're calling on, the vibration of the Lord is moving through the earth and operating on our behalf. Okay? And just to prove a point of what I said earlier, that and how the wind is working, that line was at the top of that building. Look how far away it is now. I can't even pick it up. I don't want the phone to fall. But look. Now watch how far I have to travel back to the point where it was in the beginning of the video. You see that? And it's going to spread out and look just like that where that helicopter is passing through. All right? Salakia. Esau is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Okay, let's go to Isaiah. Whoa. See, that's exactly what I didn't want to happen. I had it set up perfect and then I moved it. Like I said, it's on a slant on a hill. I had to show that condemning evidence. So, hold on, let's just do this. All right. Just stand behind it. Okay, so this is Isaiah 19 and 18. Oops. And it reads, "In that day shall 5 cities in the land of Egypt speak the language of Canaan and swear to Yahweh of hosts. One shall be called the city of destruction." So the land of Canaan, of the area which is referred to as the Middle East today, when you look that up, it's going to clearly show you the ancient Hebrew. All right. I just took off my necklace and my bracelet. If I had it on me, I would put it in front of the camera lens so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. All right. The ancient, what the scholars refer to it as Phoenician, and Israelis refer to it as biblical Hebrew. All right, that's how you know that they're doing something different, because they refer to that writing as biblical Hebrew, the same Hebrew that you found among the Native Americans, by the way. All right, and among the Puerto Ricans, they just dug up a 5,000-year-old. I think they brought up some gold out of the sea or somewhere in a cave in Puerto Rico just a little over a year ago, and it had the ancient Phoenician script on it. All right, so there's no denying what we say about the 12 tribe signs and us remembering ourselves and waking up. So let's go to Deuteronomy, the 30th chapter. And I'm going to start at verse 1 and read through 7. And it reads, "And it shall come to pass, when all these things shall come upon thee, the blessing and the curse, which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations, whether the Lord have driven thee." And you don't see Israelis living out those curses because they didn't fall upon them. You see, they own too much and have too much power, too much influence. As a matter of fact, the whole porn industry is pretty much run and controlled, and that's a multi-billion-dollar industry by the Israelis. But yet they're the people of the Lord. Okay, and most of the major Hollywood studios as well, and the TV networks. And according to the Bible, to the curses, the Israelites will have no power, no voice. So somebody's not fitting the prophecies here. You remember the old Sesame Street? Sesame Street been on a long time. It was on when I was a little kid. They used to have that little "One of These Things Don't Belong" song. All right? And if you were showing all the curses, all right, and you were showing what people would fit them, it definitely wouldn't be the little hats and the people with the curls on their side. The curly sideburns. All right, and it says, and shall return unto Yahweh thy power, and shall obey his voice according to all that I command thee this day, thou and thy children with all thine heart and with all thy soul, that then Yahweh thy power will turn the captivity and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all the nations whither the Lord God have scattered thee. So, according to the Jewish people, the Israelis, they've known who they were all along. And according to the Bible, the Israelites would have to remember themselves. Jeremiah the prophet clearly told you in the 17th chapter, the 4th verse, that they will be cut off from their heritage. So why would you have to seek your fathers, as I just read, if you know who you are, if you know your ways? Verse 4. If any of thine be driven out unto the utmost parts of the heaven, from thence will Yahweh thy power gather thee, and from thence will he fetch thee. So the gathering of the Israelites is going to be done by the Lord when the chariots of Israel come. They're not going to just assemble outside of the elect assembling to do the work, to display the stick, fulfilling the prophecy of Ezekiel the 37th chapter. But all of Israel is not going to be gathered from around the earth, not until the chariots do so. And the chariots of Israel come during the destruction of Babylon, in the midst of World War III, which we're on the verge of World War III. And that line that I spoke about is blown out over the lake. So now it's going to come. It's not even in sight anymore. So now it's going to spread out, and when it comes down, it's going to come down into the water and get recycled. The water plants are right out there where it's going. See how this devil operates? But these are the people of the Lord. Verse 5. Yahweh thy power will bring thee into the land which thy fathers possessed, and thou shalt possess it, and he will do thee good and multiply thee above thy fathers. So, there won't be no need of the IDF, of the Iron Dome. You won't be, you won't have this constant fight going on with Ishmael. Amalek's over there shooting Ishmael down, and Ishmael is stabbing him and running over him with cars and all kind of just madness back and forth. All right, because neither one of them belong in that land, and the Lord is going to clean those heathens out of that land. Verse 6. And Yahweh thy power will circumcise thine heart and the heart of thy seed. See? Of thy seed, which is not determined through a woman. Okay, that's another thing that Israelis do. As a matter of fact, if you look up the definition of Israeli, it tells you that that's a modern day citizen of Israel, not to be confused with an Israelite of the land of Israel from the ancient time. They're two different things. Okay? They're not the same. It said to love the Yahweh thy power with all thine heart and with all thy soul, and thou mayest live. And Yahweh thy power will put all these curses upon thy enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecute thee. And the curses are starting to fall upon the heathen, because there's a ton of homeless Edomites, and now you're beginning to see Ammon, Moab, and even Elam. Everybody that was a part of that secret council against thy people that's written in Psalms 83. You're starting to see the curses befall them. They're losing their health, their wealth, their businesses, and their way of life here in Babylon. All right? Just watched the video where they were talking about how 10,000 police officers didn't show up to work in New York, and like 900 something firefighters. And they were asking, were mandates more important than public safety and all this other? This place is falling apart, man, and it's headed toward disaster, and it's going to implode upon itself. All right, now let's go to Acts, book of Acts 4:12, and it reads, neither is there salvation in any other, for there is none other name under heaven given among men whereby we must be saved. People have been calling on Jesus Christ for hundreds of years now, almost half a millennia. All right, And yeah, not a lot has happened. And since they've been calling on their name, what has happened? All sorts of plagues and man-made diseases, pollution, world wars, chemicals. All right, so that there's no power in that name, because that's not the name of the Lord, man. But we've been calling on Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, and look at what's going on in the world now, man. The dollar's crashing, man. Esau, Edom is being exposed. This place is going down. This is that name, all right? You know, I watched another video what a sister was. She wasn't super young, but the sister was basically making a very good observation about how the slaves knew more about Canaan and the fervent quest with the crest, which they erroneously and falsely under that false narrative called the Middle East, because it's only Mid East from Britain to India, you know, and remember the British India Sea Company. You know, I may have said the name. Trading company. It was a British India trading company or something to that effect. And midway between India and Britain was what is referred to as the Middle East today. That's how it got that name. That's not mentioned in the Bible at all. That's another controlled narrative. And the people from there, and then they also created that so they could disassociate the continent of Africa, and if they were, and create that confusion with color lines. But everybody in the north of Africa in the fervent crest were all dark as Africans. Okay? The heathens roundabout couldn't tell the difference between the Israelites and the Africans at periods of time. All right? This is let me know what. Let me go to Proverbs. What is his name and what is his son's name, if thou can tell? All right? And it says, who have ascended up into heaven or descended, who have gathered the wind in his fists, who have bound the waters in a garment, who have established the ends of the earth. What is his name and what is thy son's name, if thou canst tell? So the obvious and the Captain Obvious here, that what's obvious is that if the name Jesus and Jehovah and Yah is written in the Bible and it's still asking you what's the name, duh, those are the mysteries, and the mysteries were only given to the Lord's servants, man, to the men of the Lord, point blank period. This is Zephaniah. I wonder what's going on when they got these helicopters circling over. This is Zephaniah 3:9, and it reads, for then I will turn to the people of pure language, that they may call upon the name of Yahweh to serve him with one consent. So that's to these other Israelite groups, man. There's going to be one name, all right? And Yahweh is not it. That's not it. It's Yahweh Wa Yahushai. Zechariah 14:9. And it reads, and Yahweh shall be king over all the earth, and in that day there'll be one Yahweh, and his name one. All right, so you can't call on any name and think that the Lord's going to hear your prayers like they teach you in Christianity, which is a complete false doctrine, man. All right, that is complete and total false doctrine. That universalism that which is taught by mainly by the Catholic Church, but you have to remember all Christian churches are the daughters of the Catholic Church, man. All the different branches. All right, this is because the Lord is gonna fix this mess right here. This is Isaiah 48. I want to be in 34. 34:8, and it reads, for it is the day of Yahweh's vengeance and the year of recompense for the controversy of Zion, man. So the Lord's whole purpose of coming is over the controversy of Zion. And the Bible tells you, and also in the book of Isaiah, that land was appointed, Esau appointed that land into his own hands. And that there'd be a fraudulent people in that land. the scriptures that back that up, that substantiate what I just said. And that's part of the controversy. All right, who is the Israelites and what is the Lord's name, man? The nerve of you people. All right, but we're about to find out. We're about to find out who the Lord is with and who He's not. This is 2 Ezra 16 and 73, and it reads, Then they shall be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire. All right, so the fire is coming, and the gold. And how do you try gold in fire? So we're about to find out as this fire, this destruction comes down upon earth, who the Lord is with and who He's not, and who the people of the Lord are, and who isn't, and the name of the Lord. All right, which is Yahweh Yahweh Shai. With that, I'm going to give all praises, going honor to Yahweh Bashim Abishai, Bashim Rakakadash, Wa Abba Kwam Yasharala.